you have to negotiate what you want. You are not going to get what you deserve. People think we are working, we are doing good, and even at home,
Yeah.
that if we are doing, it's everything is doing good. But you have to say, you have to communicate.
So there are so many girls outside who hesitate to ask for help. That is the very important thing, because till the time you will not say that I want water, nobody will come and give it to you.
Absolutely.
So you have to ask for it.
So you get what you negotiate. You will not get what you deserve.
Yeah.
So don't think that everything will come to you on your own. Don't make your perception, if he is a Muslim, he should be like that. She is a female, she should be like that.
Correct.
So we have to change that thing.
Hi everyone, this is Akansha Shah, who are working in the IT industry since last 8 good years, having experience of sales, channel, alliances. And Akansha is a person who believe the thought should convert into the plan or maybe the project. So there was a thought in my head, and here we are sitting with a very beautiful, very talented guest. I will just quickly give the introduction of her, and probably I'll hand over the things to Neha. So here we are sitting with a medical student transformed into a passionate sales leader. She's working with the company called Adobe and helping customer transforming their IT world, IT infrastructure. Moreover, a mother of a teenager son, a loving wife, responsible daughter, and more than a woman who is always striving to do her best in every vertical, be it mom, be it a wife, be it IT professionalism. So she is absolutely good in everything, I would say. And I know her since last good 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
Yes. So furthermore, I would like to address this thing also, that she is the passionate yogi and a big devotee to a Bhole Shankar, with a big belief that whatever happens, happens for a reason. I also believe in it. And just trust in your karma and don't give up in life. So that's the mantra for you, I think.
Yes, that's my life mantra. Okay, great. I think thank you very much, Akansha, for having me here. And I feel blessed to be here, first of all, because I have never thought that I'm going to be, sitting with somebody and doing some podcast sort of a thing. One thing which actually resonated with me is the topic on which we are going to have a discussion, which is very close to my heart. So thank you. Thanks for giving me this platform.
You're welcome, Neha. And we are also very honored to, share this first podcast with you. I mean, and yes, the topic which everybody want to know was very close to my heart as well. So, and we spoke about it also earlier in our earlier career, I would say. So, yes, so the topic for this podcast, which is, I think everybody will connect with this. So, the topic which we are discussing today, talking about, and which will be the topic today, is feminism. So, I think today's world, a lot of people have a misconception of feminism. So, I thought, why not to talk about it? So I really want to clear this thought in everybody's mind ki what is feminism? When you say something about it, so people used to say, iske to andar feminism aa gaya. That's what I have heard a lot, I would say. So for everybody, I mean, I would say feminism is not I would say, a junk for people, but it is basically a right for each and every woman who's out there, and they should get equal and I would say equal right in everything, in every vertical. What I mean is, probably taking decision in home, why men are taking decisions, women can also take decisions. And the CIOs, CTOs, who all are sitting on these big IT companies, they are all males, mostly I would say males. There are females who are coming in the picture also. So I believe from home to the your professionalism, there should be equal and same right to the female. Then I will say, yes, our India is feminism focus, or yes, we can see feminism out there. So yes, so there are a lot of questions with me for you, wherein we will be discussing that what should happen, what should not happen, how our points are there. So let's discuss that. So I would like to, or maybe people would like to know, how was your professional journey since starting till now happens, and what are the, I would say, challenges or the learning you have taken so far?
Okay, so I think a great question. Journey, it's a 2 decades of journey. I should say that, and it's not easy to answer you in just 2 or 3 minutes, but I'll try. And if I'll divide this 2 decades of journey, I'll divide it into 3 phases,
Okay.
and those 3 phases is pre-marriage, post-marriage, and the third is my post the birth of my son,
Okay.
which is motherhood. So I'll start with the first phase, which is a pre-marriage sort of a thing. So a little girl who just passed from the school and who didn't know where to go, but she had a lot of dreams,
Mm-hmm.
dreams to chase. One thing she was clear that what exactly she wants to achieve in her life, and that's what she was focused on. There was nobody who could guide her. That was the another issue which she faced. But one thing which really supported or helped her is stay focused and chasing her dreams. That helped her, and that's the reason which you can see that I have reached at this level in my 2 decades of career. Then it comes, the about the second phase of life, which is post marriage. I got married when I was just, I think, 25, and I got married.
Okay.
And a lot of challenges again. So one side you have to manage your home, new family, new home, new culture. Everything is new, and it's an arranged marriage. So a lot of learnings, lot of people where you need to do a lot of adaptation with the people, culture, family, the kind of upbringing you have got. You have to forget everything. So what worked? So one thing which worked is the choice of right partner. I think that
Absolutely.
actually helped me. But yeah, it's not a 1 day journey. It took me time to understand each other so that we could support each other in our dreams. So what worked is a right choice of partner.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, on the other side, that I've shared my dreams before marriage.
Okay.
So that was the another thing. So now it comes to about this third phase of life, which is the motherhood. And I think I become mother when I was 26.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, very difficult part. I think that the most difficult part when I was like sleepless nights. Again,
Okay.
you have to start early in a day, work cooking food for your family, yourself, and then leaving for the office. Again, the problem there was that you have a lot of guilt, a mother guilt. What are you doing? You are traveling, leaving your child at home for 10 days and going for a training outside, international trainings and all. So, a lot of mother guilt that I used to carry.
Okay.
But again, what worked for me is a right support system. So, the one thing which I would like to tell everyone, don't hesitate to ask for help, right? If you need something, ask for it.
Correct.
So that's what it is. So that's how I was able to manage it. But now
Mm-hmm.
my son is 13, and
Wow.
again a new phase is going to start now. Again, a lot of if and buts in my mind, because a new phase, he's getting into a new phase, whether I'll be able to support him in his dreams and all, while balancing my job, career, a lot of things. Because again, I'm into sales.
Yeah.
It's very demanding, lot of pressure. So a lot of things are there. So that's how I used to manage, and I'm still managing and learning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how things are. So you have to go with the process, learn from it, relearn it, and go with the flow.
Absolutely. You rightly said just relearn it and go for it. One thing which I really liked what you said is, ask for the help. So there are so many girls outside, so many females who hesitate to ask for help. That is the very important thing, because till the time you will not say that I want water, nobody will come and give it to you.
Absolutely.
So you have to ask for it. If it is your thing, you have to ask for it. That's what I
Absolutely.
also believe. So, as you said, you focused toward the career, toward your journey. So there would, of course, there would be a lot of challenges would be coming, right? Which will be coming on your path every time. I think when you started until now also. So I would not say challenges, but I would say ki we would like to hear the learning which you took from your career and you have improved in it.
Okay, so as I mentioned, when I got married, one thing which I did wrong that the way I wanted to do it, it did not go in that way, right? So one learning which I have taken from that, don't overdo it. Because when you do something which the way you want to be, and do this thing, that overdoing of something, so you keep the expectation very high.
For the
And
other
when
people.
absolutely
Okay.
around you, could be your husband, could be your in-laws, could be even your boss. And with time, because you can't be at the same pace every time,
All right.
right? So one thing which you need to learn, don't overdo. Don't pressurize yourself to doing while doing something that which will not keep the pace in a long way. So go with the flow. That's what I said, right? So don't overdo, but yes, keep the expectation the level that you can meet. Otherwise, what will happen? People will start coming to you with the same expectation every time. You're not able to say no,
Yeah.
and your brand image which you have created initially, you're not able to match that. So
Correct.
that's what it is.
Because that expectation is so high and you should be delivering like that. Once you got married, what was the challenges or the things which you have faced and how did you overcome through those challenges?
Okay. So marriage is a very beautiful thing. And I think normally when I say young girls nowadays, they are a little scared of getting married.
Yes, yes.
But if you ask me, it's the so beautiful institution where you get into, but it takes time and it's a partnership. And you can't expect that it is going to work on a very first day of it.
All right.
So you have to work on it. And still I'm working. After 15 years of my marriage, I feel still I'm working. So whatever the bond that I have with my husband, it's not that from a very first day it was like that only. Right? So I spend time on that relationship. Sometimes you have to keep your ego aside and work on it.
Yes.
You have to take one step, and definitely your partner will take two steps for you.
Sure.
Right? So it's a process. So first of all, the one thing is that which I have learned in this, challenges will come. And if you really ask me, lot of challenges. And I
Okay.
mentioned before, challenges in terms of adaptation with a new family, new culture, a different mindset, even a food choices, which is
Oh.
again, yeah. When I got married, it was like I used to eat a lot of spicy food, and here nobody was eating the spicy, and it was so difficult for me to eat food there. So there we used to sleep late. Here it's like 8 o'clock, everybody is in their rooms.
Oh.
So it was so difficult for me to manage all these things, which almost took me 2 years.
Okay.
2 years to settle down in the new family. But one thing is, which again, a message I want to give, be patient. The people nowadays, the girls, young girls nowadays, they do not have patience right now.
Absolutely.
They want immediately because of those apps around us. You just order and you get it.
Yes.
That's a, but relationships are not like that. You have to work on that. It's a step by step process. So go slow, work on it, you'll get results.
Absolutely. I completely believe in it. And you're rightly said, go slow, work on it, and you'll get it. All right. So, as I will frame it in a one shot, the next question from my side. What are your achievements from your personal and professional life? Don't tell me Ayan is achievement.
Okay, so achievements. Achievements is I think it's a lot of accomplishment that I have.
Yes.
From a personal and professional. Professionally, if you ask me, a lot of rewards, recognition, employee of the year, and quarterly awards, and so on. But if you really ask me from a professional front, the one achievement for me is when I see that I feel so proud that I work with company like Adobe. I've never ever thought about it that one day I'm going to work with a company like Adobe or Microsoft. Because when I look at the people around me, they all are like B.Tech or B school students and all. I'm not. I am a person who has done most of my education, which is on a correspondence. And I've done my BBA, MBA post my marriage. That's how I've done it.
Okay.
So that's one of the biggest achievement for me, that I'm working with a company, such a great global organization, and working with the peers around me who are from a very high institution, or maybe a B.Tech. We have done IIMs or a B schools and all. So that's the biggest achievement for me in my life.
All right.
Professionally.
Okay.
And personally, I think you mentioned that rightly, that I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that I have raised a child who is so talented, so cultured, and I'm so proud of him. That's the again one of the achievement for me.
Of course.
And having such a perfect marriage with an amazing husband, 15 years, it's a big achievement.
Yes,
On
yes.
a personal front. Although I have a lot of achievements when I speak about personally, that a lot of the team members, lot of the my team members, I have done a lot of mentoring for them, where they are when I look at them, right, I feel so proud. So a lot of achievements, but yeah, if you really ask me, these are the major achievements for me in my life.
Perfectly. How beautifully you told us about your personal achievement. Very nice. All right. So I think let's discuss more about why we are here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the feminism, the buzz around this term. So I think, can you please tell us about your personal journey with feminism? At what level, at what stages you have to fight for your right, maybe have to adjust for your right, I would say. Yeah.
So, this word, feminism, I think I got to know about it maybe around 2014, 15. Before that, I have not heard this word, feminism. But actually, if you really ask me, this feminism, which is a movement, people say it's a movement, right? It's been going since 1800s. That at that time, people used to fight all those sati prathas,
Yes,
remarriage
yes.
of widows and all those things. And I was just teaching my son in the history. These things have been happening since then. So it's not something new, right? Now this word, this buzzword has started off, which is a feminism, which is very important. People should understand what exactly it is. But if you really ask me that what I have faced personally, I have faced a lot of things, especially in my professional career, because when you work in corporates, right, corporates look it is like a fantasy world. People get attracted to corporate parties, travel, the perks you get, and a lot of things. But behind that, I feel there are a lot of issues or challenges which are there. Like you can say that the pay gap, which is again a very important thing. You see, there is a lot of the gap in the terms of the salaries of a man or a woman at the same level.
Yes.
Right, that's again a one of the. And the second important is the harassment.
Yeah.
When I say sexual harassment, it's not about physical, it could be verbal as well.
Yes.
And that's what, and which impact the mental health of a woman.
Yes.
And what you want to achieve, you're not able to do that. Yes, I have also faced a lot, but not exactly that the physical harassment sort of a thing, but a lot of mental harassment where the people around you look at in a different way. She's a girl, she's a woman and working in a sales. So they feel that, okay, if you are in the sales, you can do anything to do, achieve your numbers or something like that.
Got it.
So I faced a lot. So what worked for me and how did I overcome those challenges is that I was very clear what I want to do, and I've drawn a line. And if you are able to do that, you know what you are and trust yourself. And if you are able to draw that line, then nobody, whatever the people are saying, let them say that.
Yep.
And that's how then कहते हैं ना कि लोगों का काम है कहना.
कहना.
And that's how things are.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So we should not think from that perspective. Think from your perspective, what you think, what your loved one think about you. You should be worried about that. You should not be worried about that what people are thinking about
Correct.
you. And you should not be impacted what they are saying.
Correct.
Right? So that's the one thing which worked for me, is that I have drawn that line. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know that how would I tackle this. And especially within the corporates, one thing which I have done, I think in a better ways, especially with my managers, bosses and all, that have an open communication.
Okay.
And it should be very subtle communication that you need to do.
Yes.
Which is very important. And self-belief.
Yes.
That's something which can actually take you wherever you want to.
Correct.
So keep that unapologetic, which is very important, the attitude that you carry. And if people can trust you, nobody can stop you.
Absolutely right. I'm really impressed with your answer, and I also believe in it. You should draw that line, number one, and have self-belief. So now I would like to know, and everybody would like to know, सबकी लाइफ में एक आइडियल होता है. मेरी लाइफ में भी है. I'm sure आपकी लाइफ में भी होगा. So who is that ideal, if you want to discuss, and how did you get there towards that ideal person?
Okay. I think it's a difficult question if you really ask me, because for me, I think it keeps changing.
It is.
It is. It keeps changing in last 2 decades. So when I
Okay.
started my career, for me, my idol was my first manager,
Mm-hmm.
and she was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was a woman, and she was a, I don't want to take her name, but
Mhm.
she was amazing.
Mhm.
So when I started my sales journey, the one person who actually inspired me, that was her.
Okay.
So that was, and I wanted to be like her, the kind of confidence that she was carrying and all. So that's how I started off. Then later on, after some time, and now currently, if you really, so one person who is there as my idol is our MD.
Okay.
MD of Adobe India, Pratibha Mohapatra. Such an amazing personality she is.
Okay.
The way she carries herself,
Mm-hmm.
so natural, so down to earth. You
Mhm.
don't see a little bit of, you can say, uh, and she's so straightforward. That's
Okay.
how it is.
Okay.
And the way she has grown this business, Adobe business, in last 3 years, I'm so impressed. So now, right now, my idol is that MD of Adobe India, Pratibha
Alright.
Mohapatra.
So again, our second buzz term, which I would say right now, which is LGBTQ. So the question is, how do you think feminism intersects with social justice movement like racial justice, LGBTQ, and rights?
Okay, so when you talk about all these social movements, right, the base of all these movements are same,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is fighting for the
Correct.
rights for someone, which are
Mhm.
basis either, basis on the sex, race, or maybe a culture or something like that, or maybe a region, like northeast people are,
Mhm.
treating differently or something
Yes.
like that. So one thing which is a common in this, that everybody is working towards the humanity thing. That's what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody will work together on a same goal, that every person on this earth is is a human being,
Correct.
don't treat them on the basis of anything else.
Yeah.
That's how we should treat the others, that yes, like me, you are also a human beings.
Correct.
We all are children of God.
Yes.
Right? So let's treat each other in the same way and work towards a single goal,
Mm-hmm.
that yes, respect each other as a human being. Look at other person on the basis of their qualities, not on the basis of all these, maybe he's a male, female, LGBTQ, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how we need to look at it. So if we can work together, we can solve all these problems. That's how I believe it.
Yes, and I think to solve this will take 2, 3 more, or maybe 5, 10 decade. So yes, lot many. I mean, I also have lot many females network, female friends, and who always come back to me and ask for the suggestion in life, ask for so many things, that what should they do, what should they not do in their professional career, or maybe in their personal life. Because when I was young, so there was no one to guide me, because my family come from government background. My father was in Indian military academy. There was no corporate thing in my house, and there was no one to guide me specifically.
Yeah.
So whatever I've done my own. So I started with the BPO, and then I entered into the lead generation, and then the journey started for me. And now I can proudly say that whatever I have built so far, it was my decision, and it was me behind it. But there is only one thing which always click in my head is, maybe on that particular journey, if in initial somebody would have guided me, I would be on some other place. Maybe we are doing podcast. I'm not saying I'm not in better place. I am. Maybe I'm 4 steps ahead where I am right now. So what are your thoughts on it? I mean, what do you think? I mean, because the idea of doing this podcast is to give message to lot many female out there, so that हमारे कुछ discussion से किसी को कोई guidance मिल जाए.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I think you have touched a very important point, and that's how I believe it. Like you mentioned, for me also, it's a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very humble, from a very humble family. Nobody was there to guide me, as I mentioned. Started from a medical study, and I did a medical lab technology course, worked in hospitals, worked as a front office, as a office coordinator, and multiple roles I have catered in last 20 years. Right, that's how it is. But one advice which I'll give to everyone: look for a right mentor
Mm-hmm.
at a very initial stage of your career. If you're able to find a right mentor, you can change your life, because then you'll get a path where you're supposed to go. Like I have wasted almost initial 3-4 years of my life. I would have spent in a more structured way where I wanted to go.
Yep.
And that's how things are. So one advice for anybody, where and you are at whatever the stage you are in your career,
Mm-hmm.
look for a mentor. That's going to help you. And one thing which I said earlier: ask for help.
Yes.
Ask for help. It could be your, it could you can start from your home. If you think that you're not able to manage your office with your cooking and all, look for a cook.
Yeah.
Hire a cook.
Yes.
Look for a driver.
Yes.
Why we are thinking that we should not? And that's a mistake that I have done.
Mm-hmm.
Right, after 15 years I have actually hired a cook. I have been cooking since last 15 years.
Yes.
But now I think, no, I think I should spend some time for myself as well.
Of course.
So look for a mentor, ask for a help, and definitely people around you are ready to support you. You just have to ask.
Definitely. I mean, you're rightly said, ask for the help, number one, and look for the mentor always. So, as we were talking in the green room itself, I am the person who can anytime call anybody, just to discuss my thoughts, just
Yeah.
to talk about it. And we were discussing this in the green room.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so here we are sitting because of one idea which was there in my mind, and here we are executing
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So, yes. This is very important again for me because I also come across these situation a lot of time in my life. So, when you are fighting for your right, since starting, I mean, I would say this start from your house, from your hometown, from your house. And when you grow old, you go to college, then you again fight for your right. And then, your professional journey started, and then you again fight for your right. So, how do you overcome those misconception which is there on other people's mind? Because I know, I mean, I can say very openly out here in front of everybody that you have to fight. I mean, I had fight for myself many times, be it professional, be it, personal, be it for your ideas, basically. How did you cleared other person misconceptions?
Okay, so I just use a mantra here, which I'll just share it with you and with everyone. So you get what you negotiate.
Absolutely right.
You will not get what you deserve.
Yeah.
So don't think that everything will come to you on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to negotiate for that. And like you used the word fight, I'll not use that word fight, but I'll say negotiate.
Yeah.
And that's a right terminology which you need to use.
Yes.
And it's not always about fighting, I feel. It's about making other people understand
Okay.
what exactly you want.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit, you need to shout for that.
Yes.
If you are just sitting in your own, maybe I'll take an example of a corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
I need a pay rise. I'm doing good. I have a great performance. Till that, I'm not going to ask it. Nobody is going to give you. And the day you are going to have that discussion with your boss or your manager, you see a difference.
Yes.
So you have to negotiate what you want. You are not going to get what you deserve. People think we are working, we are doing good, and even at home,
Yeah.
that if we are doing, it's everything is doing good. But you have to say, you have to communicate. That's how things work in real life, and that's what the life is.
Absolutely right. I mean, I'm also impressed that you have changed my word fight to negotiate. I mean, I will in future I will use this word.
Great.
negotiate for your rights. How do you think, I mean, this feminism term will evolve in next decade?
Okay, so feminism, first of all, if you really ask me, if I have to define it in one word,
Mm-hmm.
it's a freedom. Freedom from those old taboos, freedom from those old thought process.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, right? And how I look at it, that it's going to evolve, it's going to change a lot in next one decade. The reason behind it, the next generation who is coming, who is going to take over this, a role of taking care of this society, they have a very different thought process.
Yes.
And I can see that in my son.
Yes.
I can see in his friends. And whether it's a female or a male, they have a very different thought process. The way they look at the world around it,
Mm-hmm.
we can't even think of that.
Correct.
So I can see a lot of change which is going to happen, and it will start from us. The way you give your upbringing to your kids, it all depends on that.
Absolutely
That's
correct.
a one thing. The second is, I think, the technology.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help a lot. Technology adoption, which can actually help women to do, maybe from education perspective, awareness perspective, even employment opportunities, which is increasing with this technology.
Absolutely.
So this technology adoption is going to help to change this feminism thing in last. And I think this movement is going to be over maybe next one decade.
Yes.
That's what I feel, because that's how things are going, and we see that changes around us.
Yes, absolutely right. I mean, I think, as you mentioned, the technology is also helping for matter social media.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
mean,
And
everybody.
that's what we are doing it
Yes.
here.
I mean, I would say these platforms are wonderful if you're using it properly.
Right.
Do you think so? There is a gender equality in the organization?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, it is there. And although if you really look at the corporates, they're taking a lot of steps, towards
Yes,
it.
yes.
Like, if you really ask our organization, there are a lot of communities for women. They help, women with the right mentorship, or maybe some special courses for them. And you know that the posh thing which is
Yes,
there in
yes.
every organization. So a lot of things which companies are doing, and coming with a lot of women friendly policies, like could be a work from home, the timings, and having a crutches in the offices itself.
Yes.
So a lot of things are happening. But still I feel a lot of things are there in the policies and paper.
Yes.
So a lot of execution which has to happen.
Yes.
And when I look at the corporates, the global companies, MNCs, a lot of works are happening. But still, if I look at the SMBs or a mid market, a smaller company, still issues are there,
Yes.
challenges are there.
Yes.
So we need to work towards that. I'm not talking about that things have not been changed. When I started my career and the current time, in last 20 years, a lot of changes happened.
Yes.
But still a way to go, which is there. And how we can do that, which is very important, that start executing things. And it's not just a one person job. It's not just about a company CEO has to do it.
Yes.
It's every employee, every person who is working in that organization. So collectively they can do that.
Absolutely right. Thank you. I think we got the answer. As you know, the idea was there in my head about doing this podcast, so I did my R&D. I saw YouTube, as we are going to launch
Yeah.
this on YouTube. There is a term, not term I would say, but there is a myth in male mind that they can't be a feminist. But I got to know they can be feminist. So it's not key, girls are only, or the females are only feminism, the guy can also be. Do you have any thought on that part?
Absolutely. And I think it's nothing related to that only a women can be a
Yes,
feminist.
yes.
Because it's all about a movement. And if you
Yes.
really look at our history, a lot of men, they have actually fought for the rights for women.
Yes.
That's happened, right?
Yes.
And currently, if I look at my home itself, my husband and a lot of people in my profession network as well.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, I'll just mention that I am the part of a lot of communities, women communities like Iron Lady, Sales Mentoring,
Mm-hmm.
Jobs for Her, Harki and all.
Mm-hmm.
And Iron Lady, where I have learned a lot. And look at the co-founder. He is Rajesh Bhatt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a male.
Mm-hmm.
And when he comes on the stage, he comes while wearing a sari.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's how things are. So why we always say that behind a successful men there is a woman?
Yeah.
I think it can be vice versa also.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So why a man can't be a feminist? He
Yes.
can, and he has to be,
Yes.
because men and women both are the pillars, and both are the two different wheels of a track or something like that. They have to run together.
Correct.
Otherwise, we are not able to achieve what we want to, which is very important. So I don't trust this. It's a myth.
Yes.
We have to burst this myth.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why we are talking about this
Yeah.
specific point that, guy can also be a feminist.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, supporting female is called feminism for them.
Yes.
Right.
So behind every successful woman, there is a man.
Yes, if we
It
are
is.
talking here and sitting, there are male
And
behind
I'm really
it.
proud to say
Yes,
that my
yes.
husband is there and he's supporting me in each and everything.
Yes, yes, definitely. So, as we spoke about that, men can also be a feminist. What should, we as a community or we as a, I would say, individual to support men to think in this direction? Because, there is a myth in, people mind that why men can be feminist. So, how can we break that myth? Number one. And number two is, how we can motivate them to support those female, and it will start from their houses.
I think we don't have to move them. We just have to nudge them. That's what I feel. That's what it is.
Yes.
So you just nudge them. Nudge them that yes, this is something which is there, and what you are doing. Share it with them.
Yes.
Ask them, be a party of your success.
Yes.
And make them feel proud what you are achieving because of them. Once they are going to feel that, right? And definitely I'm telling you, and it's a fact, and I've seen the way my husband has transformed in last 15 years.
Wow.
It's an open communication which you need to do it.
Yes.
If you'll not do it till that time, as I mentioned, till the time you'll not say it, how would you get it?
Yes.
Which is there. So just nudge them. Let them part of your success, which is
Yes.
very important.
Yes.
Enjoy your success with them. And let them feel proud that whatever you are, because of them.
Yes.
You can't move a world without men and even without women.
Yes.
Both have to run together to
Yes.
make this society successful.
I would say, मुझे किसी ने एक बात बोली थी, I want to address it right now, कि the partners are like the 2 feet of ours. एक आगे चलता है तो एक पीछे आता है,
Absolutely.
एक पीछे आता है तो एक आगे आता है. जब वो आगे वाला स्टेप ले रहे होते हैं तो पीछे वाला ही सपोर्ट करता है आगे चलने के लिए. सो दैट्स इट, आई वांट टू से.
बहुत बहुत अच्छा बोला तुमने, मतलब exactly what it is. And that's how life is. That's how this marriage works.
Yes, very important for the young generation now. So, how do you think this, social media has impacted this buzz of the feminism? What do you think about it?
I think I mentioned, I think lot of impacts, lot of positive and negative impacts too. When I talk
Absolutely.
about this feminism thing, when I look at the positive impacts, you can create a lot of awareness.
Yes.
That's how this actually helps you. You can give education, create awareness, and the most important thing which is there, that it has negative impacts too, which I can see, like you can see that those harassment which is happening on internet,
Absolutely.
body shaming,
Yes.
and the misinformation
Yes.
which are spreading through this social media.
Correct.
And I think this ownership lies with those operators who are actually taking care of this. But if we'll use it in a right way,
Yes.
it's going to be a boon for us.
Of course. So, just around this topic, there was one incident which happened in Bangalore, if you have heard.
Yeah.
The guy, did suicide because of few statement of that female. So, when I was scrolling LinkedIn, there was a lot of buzz about that topic. And there was comments about the whole female community. And then I wrote a message because I couldn't stop because I am
That's
one
how
of the
we are.
feminists. Yeah, that's who we are. So I wrote it. I mean, you can't say I mean, of course, that female has done wrong, but you can't say to the whole community out there,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And I mean, you have to punish that female. I mean, and there were a lot of comments after my comments. So who were supporting my thought, that
Right.
of course, आप एक औरत की वजह से you can't say the
Blame
whole
the whole
community
community.
is wrong.
And I think that's what I mentioned before, that we should not compare basis of something like sex or a race or a community or something like that. Look
Absolutely.
at that person, look at that individual,
Mhm.
look at their qualities or
Correct.
maybe a negative things also.
Correct.
And then make your perception. Don't make your
Absolutely right.
perception if he is a Muslim, he should be like that. She is a female, she should be like that.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we have to change that thing.
Yes. And it will start from our houses.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll cut it short. Would be the last question from our side and from our viewer, I would say. What would you say to the young people who are just discovering this term? And what are the hopes for the future feminism movement you wanted to give?
Uh, so the young generation who is coming, and I've shared a lot of advices during my conversation, and I'll give a snippet of that. I'll do that for them again, just to give a summary. First and very important thing: look for a mentor, which is at a very initial stage of your career. And the one mistake which I have done or you have done, they should not repeat it. Second thing, don't overdo.
Yeah.
Don't set the expectation so high that you're not able to meet in future.
Absolutely.
Third, which is important, very important thing which I said, you have to negotiate. You have to negotiate what you want,
Yes.
right? So that's very important. And keep the communication open. Have that communication open, whether it is at home or at the or organization or office with your manager or with your colleagues. Very important piece which you need to do. And keep learning. Keep
Yes.
learning and keep grooming yourself.
Yes.
And I still remember when I started my career, I don't know how to write an email.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use this Gmail and all those things. That's how.
Yeah.
I don't know what is this software and hardware is.
Yes.
So I've learned with that process and I'm still learning. I
Yes.
feel I'm still learning.
Yes.
Yesterday I was sitting with my son and he was just making me learn those Gen Z language, which I
Yeah.
don't know. Sometimes he speaks and I don't know. So you have to learn with the time change.
Yes.
So I think feminism, as I mentioned, it's an ideology.
Correct.
It's not a movement for me. It's an
Yes.
ideology. It's a thought process.
Okay.
If you really work towards that, and every woman has to work. Not even a woman, even a men, they have to do it.
Yes.
They have to support while doing multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
Could be supporting at home, right? Could be respect your maybe a wife or your sister or your mother's thoughts.
Yes.
Right. So a lot of things through which a man can actually do that. From a future perspective, I think it's in our kids' hand. That's how I look at it. So it all depends that how do, and it's right now it depends on us because we have to do the right upbringing.
Yes.
And if we're able to do that, so I think our future is in safe hand. But again, it all depends the kind of upbringing that you are giving to your kids.
Absolutely right. And you have summarized very beautifully, whatever you have discussed so far, the pointer wise. And I mean, the female out there who are listening to us, who are watching us, I mean, these 3 pointers are very important, which just Neha mentioned. I think that's all the question which we have. I think if they want us again to be here, we would love to be here. We want just comments and we can see the views and
Yeah.
we will be right back here. So for now, we have this much for you, which we have already delivered to you guys. Again, whatever the Neha said and summarize it, I believe in it. That's why we are sitting together. And I just say to all of the female out there, speak whatever you feel, speak whatever you need, ask whatever want to execute, ask for help. So on that note, I will be signing off. We'll be there again with you guys with another topic, with another guest. Sayonara guys, signing off. Bye bye, take care, and खुद जियो और औरों को भी जीने दो. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.